What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of CUBREACTS on a Friday morning as we continue to look through the latest new releases. We have seen some really cool bits land. Obviously, CK's new album has dropped, that new wicked collaboration between King Promise and Sarkodie. But now we're getting into a very unexpected collaboration that has the potential to have a lot of international support. That is Adekunle Gold joining forces with the one and only Rick Ross for the 5-star remix. I saw Rick Ross talking about this on his Instagram story, and now the tune is here. It's an official remix of 5-star, which is obviously a banger from Adekunle Gold, so we're going to get into this one today. Now, we have reacted to the original, of course, and I think we're likely to just get a verse or so from Rick Ross, so what we'll do is we'll reimagine the bits of the tune we already know and reassess them a few months down the line, just so it's not boring to watch as a reaction. As always, friends, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page, and let's get into this one. Let's go. This is such a slap as well as an original.
It's Kelpie vibes.
Bit Kelpie. Can't beat it.
See, I don't look like waiting, I don't see. I will never forget the 90s. Many nights I go there back for mercy. Sickle self been showed me crisis. Thank you for the journey.
The thing I remember loving about this instrumental is that kind of showbiz shimmer that you kind of hear off the synthesizers, you hear it off the drums, you hear it off the bass line, you hear it off Adekunle's vocal. You just hear this kind of shimmer, this shine, this almost like this lens flare. It's like an audible lens flare that you hear just shining off the side of all the instrumentation. I don't know how else to describe it, but it just has this kind of showbizy feel, like sort of 90s showbiz. That's the sort of sound it comes across as. It's great.
Oh Lord, if I say my story, fire can school, I'm ever blazing. I roll deep with the Almighty. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Can't copy this formula. I hear 5-star Angel. I did try for myself. VIP no regular.
Listening back to it now, it sounds even stronger. Especially when you hear those kind of key patterns in the background, that kind of bling, 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 bling. There's this really nice kind of subtle key solo going on in the background. The beefiness of the drums, I don't remember them being this beefy. Again, this is probably the same version, just with a new vocal on it, if we're being entirely honest. But the drums just have a real kind of punchy texture to them. They take up a lot of frequency room, and they hit you hard. And then there's a delicacy about Adekunle's vocal. There's a reason why Rick Ross has jumped on this as a remix, realistically, because it's a very well put together tune. Let's go.
Money not filter. Don't let them fool ya. Make your rubber, stack your paper. Let them know when you pull up, pull up. Man down when I pull up. I'll be a leaker, fuck the chaser. Bang, 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 undertaker. They scared when I pull up, pull up. Yeah, road man fear when I pull up, pull up. Pull it from me cartoon and I be rapping. Shout out to a gege that city raised me. Ask my crew, then they love me, Then call me.
That little chord pattern that just starts appearing at this section as well, that kind of gang. That little very subtle chord progression in the background. This is why I do like this tune, man. It is very unorthodox in its arrangement, especially for this type of sound. For Adekunle Gold, it's an unexpected arrangement style. It does have something very unique about it. It's very refreshing. And again, that showbiz shimmer, that's the best way to describe it. That kind of shine. Now, I don't know whether it's a reverb or whether it's just kind of like a piece of processing that does it, whether they're using old school hardware, but it just gives it this really niche feeling, which is so cool to hear.
Time forget though. We only get love on manifesto. I pray for my people. I hear 5-star Angel. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Can't copy this formula. I hear 5-star Angel.
So I can hear a little bit of Ricky Rose popping in. I'm very excited to see what Rick Ross does on this, because the more I listen to the tune, the more I can imagine Rick Ross on it. And it's going to be really interesting to see where he takes it. Is he just going to go for a straight typical Rick Ross verse? Is he going to try to do something a little bit different? My instinct says he's going to go for a pretty typical sounding Rick Ross verse, which should sound quite good over this. It has that kind of regal majesty as an instrumental, and it's the sort of tune I could actually imagine him going over on his one. So yeah, this should be really cool to hear. Let's go, Ricky.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Caught up in the moment, you deserve the best. Heart made the diamonds, kisses on your neck. You deserve it, well, that's when your time come. And I'ma get you every watching till my time up. Boss, big boss, never had a TikTok, but I got bad chicks in my inbox. Top down, Rolls Royce, white ski mask. Throwing money out the window when I speed past. 5 cars, shorty top shelf.
Yeah, this is sick, man. This is, again, when you kind of see names appearing on this sort of sound for the, and again, this isn't a typical Afrobeat sound as an instrumental. There are elements of it with the kind of rhythms that are being used, but there are so many other bits that have been bled into this. Again, that 90s sort of showbizy kind of pop style in there. There's a lot of electronic elements in there. So when you then hear someone like Rick Ross appearing on a tune like this, you don't know what to expect. You can make a brief guess, but he is killing this. And this is actually a Rick Ross verse that I'm really enjoying. The skippiness, the kind of poise, the actual vocal textures he's bringing, the potency in his performance is very, very strong. It's clearly a remix that he wanted to do, and you can hear that within the enthusiasm of his verse, man. This is great.
As I look into your eyes, I need nothing else. She a hot girl, something else. Big names all came unannounced, but my God, call it something else. 5 star, really say less. If it's shorty great, shorty say less. Cause you're nothing shorty great, you're my apex.
Okay. There is something so enjoyable about just hearing, huh, when every random occasion that Rick Ross appears. I don't know what it is. You know what it is? I grew up listening to a lot of Rick Ross tunes, man. Like, I say grew up, like my sort of 13 to 16, I was listening to a lot of Rick Ross. Because everyone was. It's Ricky Rose, like he is that guy, man. And again, it's cool to hear him on a tune like this with that sort of glamorous kind of feel. That's very much Rick Ross's style. And again, the artwork, it works. Like that whole approach, you can imagine Rick Ross on a tune like that has artwork like this. He killed it. I really like his verse on this. I think he came with a very he came with the right approach. It wasn't kind of too outside the box. It's a very nice kind of middle ground for both of them. And I think he did a great job. It's going to be interesting to see what this does for Adekunle as well. Obviously, he's been jumping on a lot of collabs recently. Did the official remix for Taiki over in France, so this will be cool to see. It'll be cool to see what Adekunle gets from this. Formula. Copy this formula. And there we go then, the sounds of this one, Adekunle Gold, the 5-star remix, featuring the one and only Ricky Rose. That is Rick Ross. Maybach music, all of that good stuff. Huh. Very enjoyable, man. I did enjoy this. I think Rick Ross did a great job. Obviously, we're only really here to assess the Rick Ross verse because we've heard the rest of the tune before. And it's a great tune. It's cool to revisit it. You get to hear those kind of punchy drums, that kind, as I said, the showbiz shimmer. That's how I would describe this. But I think Rick Ross did a very good job coming onto this. He understood the assignment. It's a collaboration that I wouldn't ever kind of expect to see, but I definitely think what he brought to the tune was valid. Like, it wasn't just a random throwaway verse. The actual content matter of what he was, what his verse was about, the actual flow pattern, the performance factor was great. The cadences, all of these things that make a verse memorable, he absolutely nailed. So that was really good to see, and it definitely does take the tune somewhere else. Hopefully, this gives Adekunle a bit more exposure as well, especially in that kind of American market. That'll be really interesting to see. So there we go, wicked stuff. There we go, the 5-star remix. As always, friends, I'm keen to hear your thoughts. So let me know what you're thinking about this one in the comment section down below. Is this a collaboration you wanted to see? Did Rick Ross do the tune justice? Who else would you like to see Rick Ross collaborate with in the sort of wider Afrobeats world? Are there any artists in particular? Do you reckon he could jump on a tune with one of the I don't know, the current front runners? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, my friends, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. We are now hurtling towards 46,000 subscribers, so do get involved. We are trying to hit 50k by November the 20th, which is my birthday. So I want to hit 50k before then if we can, and it would be amazing if we can, so do get involved, please. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day. We shall see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CUBREACTS TV. Stay locked.